Ergo. Ergo is a solid idea about basically creating a platform for financial contracts that can last a lifetime. What it was built with Charles Hoskinson in many, many ways, and this has been a platform that actually had a lot of excitement and hype around it when it first launched. Obviously, that has subsided somewhat, but we always see this. New projects will naturally have more excitement than older projects. Now, this is an older project. So we're going to take a look at the underlying statistics here, because I'm not overly bullish on this. I still think the technology is very, very good, but I think there's causes for concern in some regards that I'll talk about. Now, before I get into it, if you're new here, this spreadsheet shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I show myself buying up all of these cryptos. These were coins that I thought would do very, very well, make a lot of money, which is obviously why I bought them up. And you can see what these coins were worth when I recorded and released my videos, the highs that these cryptos hit in the last bull cycle, and what your profits would have been if you'd popped $100 into them. So if you'd have done it for all of them, a $2,600 investment would have made you over 123 grand. Now, the thing is we're in a bull cycle, and if you're sitting on coins you're not happy with, not confident in, that aren't performing for you, you have to get that fixed. If you don't know where to begin, have a look at copymycrypto.com. This is the website that I run, where I share every single coin that I own with my members. Whenever I find any crypto, like many of these, that I think is going to do well, I jump onto my site, I tell my members about the crypto that I'm going to be buying and the price I'm going to be buying at. This means my members get in and out of crypto same price, so they make the same profit. Now, on my site, you can see some of the profits that my members have made. These are based on some of the past successes that we've had, and some of them you can see on the site as well. One of which was Phantom, now known as Sonic, but in the last bull cycle, Phantom went from half a cent when my members got in to $3.46. It did nearly a 700x in terms of gains. Some of my members became millionaires off of that investment alone, and that's public record. You can verify it on the channel. And if, after reading through the site, you want to find out the cryptos I own, the ones that are going to be the winners in this bull cycle this year, all you have to do to find out about them, guys, is join up on the site. Now, Ergo. So Ergo launched back in 2017. And it had a decent first bull cycle. The most recent 2021 cycle, it went from lows of 14 cents to over $14. I mean, it hit an all-time high of $22. Oh no, $22 was hit in December, but it did hit a high of at least sort of $18 in 2021. So it did well, right? Solid 100x. Now, as I said, they're a platform to provide an efficient, secure, and easy way to implement financial contracts that will be useful and survivable in the long term. They describe itself as a self-amendable protocol that absorbs new ideas and improves itself in a decentralized manner. And it's built by some of Charles Hoskinson's favorite developers. So Ergo has had a few key events. One of the pivotal moments for Ergo was the hosting of Ergo Hack 7, which was a hackathon designed to encourage developers to explore and create solutions within the Ergo ecosystem. The event not only showcased the platform's potential for supporting a good array of applications, but it also allowed the developer community to try and push the boundaries of what's possible within DeFi. They had the release of the Rosen Bridge. They have had the development of Crux Finance, which was another milestone for Ergo. They also launched Ergo's DeFi ecosystem. And they had the Ergo Summit, which was a significant event that brought together all the experts and enthusiasts. And all these events that have happened show the commitment that Ergo has for innovation, community engagement, and development. Now, when you dive into Ergo and you can have a look into the ecosystem, you can see that there's actually an okay array. I'm not going to say great. There's an okay array. You've got Ergo Raffle, Spectrum Finance, Duck Pools, Sigma Phi, Sigma USD, and then you can't really. Oh yeah, there you go. Ergo Mixer, Ergo Auctions, Ergo.Watch, and they're just some. there's plenty more. None of them I would define as top tier projects. So it is worth noting many of the projects listed below have no formal connection with the Ergo Foundation or each other, but you can find a bit more information on CoinMarketCal, which kind of breaks down some info about Ergo, but again, it's not fine. It's not overly, like, I don't think it's any better than CoinMarketCap, to be fair. I think CoinMarketCap's far more useful. So no number of upcoming events, there is one. And then there's nothing there. Now, the thing that I think goes against Ergo, there are two kind of significant things that are going against Ergo from my perspective. One is overall statistics. Transactions per day is really poor. You're looking at 3,841 transactions per day. That is not great. That is not great. The second thing, I suppose, is more to do with the mining info. So hash rate has been relatively stable, but in a time, that's a 30-day, isn't it? But when we look at over a 2-year basis, the hash rate's been dropping. That's a sign miners are kind of leaving, and they're choosing to mine other proof of work kind of cryptos, right? They're choosing to mine other projects. So that's not a great sign. Miners tend to go where the money is, so miners don't necessarily believe there's money here. And that's not a good thing, because you want to always know what the miners are doing. The final thing that I think certainly goes against is the volume. I mean, that is up today, but the volume is weak. And the volume is really weak. It says a market cap of $74 million. You would be expecting volume well over $1 million every day. Well over $1 million. I'd be looking at, you should be seeing $5 to $10 million at least of volume a day. It's nowhere close. So there is an interest in trading it, and there doesn't seem to be interest in buying it. And the fact that it isn't listed on any major exchange with that volume, while the team are committed and are pushing for development and innovation, which is a really important factor, because it's part of the way that Binance decide on listings and delistings, like innovation, constant development. That's a big important thing for your exchanges. They look to make sure a project isn't stagnating. If it is, there's concern, right? But the other thing they look at is volume. You've got to be realistic. They look at volume, and volume is poor. So I can't see a world where we're going to see like Ergo getting listed right now on any big exchange, because the volume is really, really weak. I mean, it's always been quite low. But in the last bull cycle, it did have days where it was north of, $5-10 million. But generally, volume has always been quite low. I frankly see a world where Ergo continues to get delisted. I mean, when we're actually looking at it, majority of the volume is KuCoin, but majority of the volume is MEXC. I could see Gates delisting. I could certainly see Huobi, HDX delisting. Would KuCoin be particularly interested in $54,000 of trading volume a day? I'm not sure they would. And delisting is a killer. Long term, like, it's fine if you're on 20 exchanges, but if the majority of the exchanges you're on delist, you're in real trouble. I think this is an interesting platform, and again, I've heard Charles Hoskinson at length talk about the developers behind Ergo and the quality that is Ergo. And as much as I think his opinion should be respected in regards to what he's done, his resume is outstanding. you have to look at the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is there's a high probability these are going to get delisted sooner or later. And if that does happen, the price will continue to tumble. Now, it didn't break its previous high in 2021. It's highly unlikely to break its high of 2021 this bull cycle, which was around $18. I think if this is going to have any sort of rally, maybe it can get to like $10, but I can't see, I'm not even sure that will happen. $10 would be if there's a resurgent interest in Ergo, which right now isn't there. If I was a betting man, I would be suggesting that Ergo is going to have a bad bull cycle. But we have seen bull cycles where everything kind of goes up, even in spite of the fact that maybe interest isn't there. Sometimes it just does. But I can't see this going higher than $10. And I think realistically, the long-term view of this is not great right now. There needs to be like a renewed vigor coming back to Ergo. If that happens, then obviously the game is a game changer. But right now, I think long-term, the picture looks pretty bleak. From my perspective, of course. But if you're an Ergo holder, you're still holding, you're hopeful, you're optimistic, you think there's going to be a good year ahead. So what do you think is coming that's going to really improve things for Ergo holders? What do you think Ergo has done? Well, what has Ergo done to keep you as a holder? What do you believe is coming for this platform? Let me know in the comments. And guys, we're in a bull cycle. If you're sitting on coins you're not happy with, not confident in, that aren't doing the job for you, get it sorted. If you don't know where to start, go on to copymycrypto.com, have a read through the site. On the site, you'll see some of the profits my members have made, some of the past successes that led to those profits. We had a quick flip meme coin the members got in and out of in a fortnight, and it did over 300x. My members got in on one of the biggest gainers in the last bull cycle, which was Phantom, now known as Sonic, but that went up nearly 700 times from when my members got in. Some of them became millionaires. The whole point of the site is that I share everything I'm doing. Every coin that I own, and whenever I find crypto that I think is going to do really well and make a lot of money, I jump onto my site, I tell my members about the crypto, the reasons that I'm buying it, and the price I'm buying it at. I do the same when I sell, so there's no work for my members. They get in and out of coins the same price as me, so they make the same profit. It couldn't be more simple. And if you want to find out the cryptos that are going to be the winners in this bull cycle, the ones that are going to make the profits, all you've got to do to find out, guys, is join up on the site. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, folks, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Bye-bye.